measure of justice inspired her actions, and they said that they stand with the youth and behind the multi-generation band of activists fighting for substance and symbols of bigotry and hatred and intolerance. And they said they're going to stand up for what is right in this country.
I think that's great, and I did a little research because Governor Nikki Haley in South Carolina finally acted in the interest of her state and in the nation on Monday when she called, last Monday when she called on the legislature to remove the Confederate flag. And someone asked me how did I feel about the Confederate flag, and really to be honest, I hadn't given that flag much thought up until the massacre in South Carolina. And when I began to think about it, I saw that it shouldn't have any relevancy with hanging in a state capitol building. If personally you want to carry a flag, put it on your car, outside, on your truck, your t-shirts, whatever, but I do not think it should represent a state symbol for one of our United States in this great union. So I do think that it needs to come down because of the history and the heritage of what the flag represents.
I think that you're correct. There has been much talk and much debate about the Confederate flag and whether or not if it should continue to fly or whether or not if it should be hanging in a museum. And I think as it relates to the symbolism that it represents historically, dealing with the racism as it relates to the black community and those that were fighting as it relates to the Civil War. I think that we're in a period right now where we need to bring more peace and express more love, and I think as it relates to that flag, we are exhibiting even more hatred into our communities, and I believe that the people are crying out for something to be done about it. And I think that if we are trying to be, again, the beloved community that God is calling us to be, and for us to get along and to live peacefully together, I think we should choose, as Reverend Edwin Sanders says, the right thing to do. And the right thing to do in this particular case is, if we're trying to promote unity and love and harmony within all races in our community and take back our streets, I think we need to just take, like Dr. Kenneth Samuel said, take the flag down.
Well, Louis Farrakhan said if you're going to take that flag down, you need to take down the United States flag. And that's going to make a lot of people mad, but he said under that flag we've been hurt more or about the same as under the Confederate flag. He said with the civil rights movement, the women's movement, now the gay movement, all the above under our flag that we have now. And I'm an advocate for this country. I love our country. We have one of the greatest countries as well. But if we're going to start taking flags down, we need to redo all the flags and make it the flag for all people and not just for some people. So that's another conversation. But I give her kudos and for her leadership and her courage. And they raised $65,000 for her to get out of jail in her Crown funding campaign. So, Bree Newsom, I take my hat off to you for taking that flag down and doing what you do, scaling that pole like Catwoman.
Well, you know, the South is historically known for being the last to embrace change or accept change.
Mm-hmm.
And out of the Supreme Court ruling actually affected 13 states, because out of our 50 states, we already had 37 on board. And